I've always been interested in cars ever since I was small. My dad used to look after people's cars when we were younger, so there's some pictures of me being 3-year-old with a spanner in my mouth and playing with cars, and my dad also had some classic minis when I was growing up and some Morris Minors and other cars. I acquired this Moke about 15 years ago. It was something that me and my dad were going to do together as a project when he retired, but unfortunately my dad he passed away from a brain tumour before we had a chance to finish it off. So I took the gauntlet, dare we say, and I've finished it off in his behalf really. At some points I was just going to chop it up and throw it away, but I battled through, and over the space of about 10 years I've restored it back to what the car you see today is. My name's Jonathan and this is my 1967 Austin Mini Moke. I bought it off auction site for £300. It was a complete wreck of a vehicle. Holes in the floor, no body panels on really, no screen, no glass, no paperwork, no logbook or V5. The first plan was to buy it and just fix it up into a roadworthy vehicle, but as I started to restore it and put panels on it and then buy things and paint things for it, more and more new items have been bought and I couldn't put an older part on it, so then it just spiraled out of control then, and then it became really clean and obviously everything was new and new wiring looms, and it's gone from being a bit of a fix it up and drive it to being what you see today, which is quite a clean car, lives in the garage. The Mini Moke were originally built as a military vehicle. They produced them from 1964 to 1968. There was about 14,000 of them made, but only about 1,200 stayed in the UK. This particular vehicle was built in the UK in 1967 and it was exported to Papua New Guinea very early on in its life. I since bought it off an auction site some 15 years ago, and I believe the owner of the car then bought a few of them back to the UK. Because I've obviously bought it with no paperwork or V5 documents, I've had to have it validated from the Mini Moke Owners Club. They come out, took pictures, checked the body numbers, checked the proof of receipts, what I've done for it, some evidence, and then I managed to apply for a V5C form to get it registered to a V5. And the car got MOT'd, went through 2 years ago, and then about 6 weeks after that I managed to get the number what you can see on it today in the logbook. Yeah, the full restoration consisted of new body panels, floor panels, side panels. The only original panel on this vehicle is actually the grille front, what you can see, the bulkhead where the glass is held, the rear panel, and the body panel tops. Most of the other panels have either been repaired, replaced, restored. The subframes were stripped and repowder coated with new suspension components. A new wiring loom's been fitted, installed. I've customised some of the things on the wiring loom. I've run some extra wires in, some extra earths, extra switches and gauges in there. When the Mini Moke produced it on, I had an 850cc engine. Mine's now running a 1420, which is a 1380cc engine overboard to 1420 with a long stroke crank. It's also running a 45 DCOE Weber carburettor. I've had it on the rolling road, set up early on this year, and it was doing about 110 brake horse at the wheels, which I'm really impressed about. Because obviously it's got a bigger engine there, it's also got bigger disc brakes on the front, and then so on, it's got the bigger wheels and the stickier tyres, so it's running 13-inch wheels, which gives it a much more of an aggressive stance. The gear chain linkage has been altered, so it's a lot closer to me. It's also got the bigger bucket seats in there, quick release steering wheel. I originally planned to change the colour of the car. When they produced the vehicle originally, they were only green or white. This is the original colour of spruce green. I looked at yellow ones and blue ones, and when it come down to the final day of painting it, I decided to go with the original colour. I think it really suits the car being original. As it is, it's very clean and shiny, and I think it's different because it looks like a standard moke, but then when you know about it, you can see it's got the wider wheels, and I think it makes it stand out loads better. The biggest challenge was probably doing the engine was the biggest thing. It had to come in and out maybe 4 times in total, and every time it had to be really careful not to damage it, not to scratch it, and once I finally got it fired up and got the gears running through and driving properly, that was probably the biggest achievement. The second biggest achievement was probably getting it roadworthy and getting the actual registration number on there. That was a real gamble. That I was into a lot of money at this point. If the car would have become a Q plate as a kit car, I would have probably been losing money, but because it's now got the correct age related plate on it, I'm probably in front on a monetary value. Not that I'd ever sell the car, but there's too much sentiments in it, because obviously it was something me and my dad were going to do together, and I've got 2 sisters and I've got some nephews and nieces, and they all like going in it as well, and it's been really good. Yeah, the next plan is I've just ordered a canvas roof. I've never run it with a roof before, so the roof frame is being restored now. I'm going to get it powder coated, and I've just placed an order for the canvas roof. That should be coming within the next 4 weeks, just to try and make it a bit more waterproof, weather tight, so if I do go out in winter it's better. I'm also looking at buying some different alloy wheels for it. I want some Force Racing 3-piece alloys. You can get them built in any width or dimensions, any style, and I want it to look a bit more unique. There's nothing wrong with the tyres on it now, they're just a bit more, they're more standard, the Revolution wheels, and I just want a bit more of a bespoke look. It's a bit strange to drive, to be fair. I get some funny looks, made 6 out of the top when I'm driving it. Going over 60 mile an hour, the windscreen starts to shake and the bonnet starts to rattle a little bit, but I think it's fun, it's quirky. You get a lot of looks, people smile, laugh and joke, wave at you, take photos. I don't know really why I like the Moke, there's just something very cute about it, dare we say. Because I'm quite tall, in a Mini I look quite small, but because there's no roof in this, I just look odd completely in it, but that's what I like about it. I probably drive it most weekends when the weather's good. It has been out in the rain, but I try and go out when it's dry. It's been on the road for about 18 months and I've done 500 mile in it approximately, so it's just for going to shows, to shops in and just driving around. The top speed would probably be about 100 mile an hour, I think. Before I get up to that speed, I could do it to somehow fasten the bonnet down a little bit more secure. As you can see, there's only some like rubber toggles holding the bonnet down. I think my biggest achievement is I've just won an award at Steel City Classics car show. I've just won the Wildcard Award. I went there not expecting to win anything, and to come away with an award was a real achievement. I don't think it's personally a very special, this car, but people who look at it, they really like it and they appreciate it, and because I've lived with it for so long, it's just my car and I see all the flaws and the negative things in it, and people just absolutely love it, and for that reason I won an award, and I'm really chuffed. People take 10 years restoring the cars. I think it's a real labour of love. I like to personally either salvage or find a different alternative rather than going out and buying brand new. Sometimes obviously you've got to buy certain components new, but the front hub assemblies were all restored, put all my new bearings in myself, the rear brakes were all restored and suspension components. I think there's a lot of people out there who are really clever at their jobs and they've got a lot of time and dedication, and I think it goes to show by the quality of vehicles that we see on, in the UK in general. And sometimes you just want to shut the garage and never look at it again and forget about it, and then obviously you change your job, or you go on holiday for a bit, or you go out for something to eat or a drink, and then next time you go in there, you look at it with a fresh pair of eyes, and that passion comes back again. And there's definitely a lot of love-hate with restoring cars. And I said I would never do another one, but I have also now just been out and bought another mini project, which you'll hopefully see a bit later on.